no, 2010 or 11, there was a huge cry and shout out about the racial discrimination that was happening in Australia to the limit that it was being shown in news in other countries.
Right.
One of the cases that happened was during that time with us, and I remember we used to live in the city, and we decided to go out for just an evening stroll to have some dinner. It was just a couple of years after I migrated to this country, so I enjoyed living in the city and the bus. So there's a free tram, City Circle, which moves around in the city. Yeah. And we used to leverage that a lot. So I saw the tram standing in front of me, and I ran to get onto it because the other one would be another 15 minutes away. And as I walked in, and I went and I jumped into the train to hold the door so my friends could come in from behind. There were a bunch of teenagers ranging from about 9 years to about 18 would be the tops, who started to racially abuse me and started to tell me to get off the tram. They said, "You Punjabis, go back to your country." And I ignored, like we are not kids. So I knew they were a bunch of kids. I ignored. But they didn't stop. And they came at us. And if people don't know, Aussie kids don't look like kids. They are as huge as us in an adult form, right? So when they got up and they started to come towards me, just for my own safety, I thought I'm going to step out. And as I was stepping out, my husband walked in and he saw what was happening. And, obviously he wasn't up to accept that kind of racial discrimination. And he started to pounce back at them to an extent that there was a physical fight. So the boys, about 8 or 9 boys were, punching onto my husband. I was in the middle of them, so I got kicked a few times until the people on the road or other friends. And if people don't know, in that era, there weren't too many Indians in this country. So there were very few Indians. So there were people who were watching us, but nobody really came in to help.
To help you out, right?
And it went on for about 30 seconds. And trust me, that 30 seconds felt like a lifetime of getting punched and kicked.
Oh,
right?
yes. Yes.
Until a friend of ours, like as I said, I was being followed by a bunch of other friends who were coming. And as soon as they were coming, these kids realized we weren't alone. So they quickly jumped on the tram and the tram went off. Now, that was for me the very first and I still get goosebumps talking about it, Krunal, because it's an experience, very painful experience. But we didn't stop. We chased them and we reported. Luckily, at that time, there were about 300 cameras in the city center. There were cops everywhere on the roads because of these things happening a little bit more often than they should have. So we stopped the cops. We complained to them, and within that, half an hour span, they were able to catch 5 of those kids.
Wow. Great.
And that evening was very, it's a memory engraved in our heads forever, because then what I want to also talk about and what is important is, yes, you get racially discriminated, but very often we just walk away feeling bad and, feeling victimized. But the action that we took led us to a point that we identified those people. They went to the court. We did not get involved. One of the cops helped us, through the whole process. We went to the police station a few times to identify the kids. The kids were then sent to the correctional facilities, and they wrote an email, handwritten email, to apologize. Now, it's an important thing to never let go of, an experience like this, because people often feel scared, intimidated, and do not take an action to correct it. That's a little thing that you do that makes a difference. And I'm sure those kids wouldn't do that to another Indian or another person of culture, knowing that that was such a big journey that they had to go through. They had to appear at the court. They had to go for the services that they had to do. It was needed. It needed to be done.
It is must, right? You're right. Absolutely right. I want to share the incident that I witnessed, like similar to this. Yes, I was watching. We went to watch a movie at Sunshine Cinema, similar, like 2008-9. Yes, no, 11, I would say. And similar incident happened, and people, like, we went there to watch an Indian movie. So there are a lot of Indians there because it's an Indian movie, and couple of Indian couples, they were there, and then somebody, yes, I don't know what's the, they were no kids, these people who are beating them, they were no kids, and and everybody was like watching the show, and somebody started, making a video, and I said, why nobody's helping them? I got punched as well, but yeah, I just tried, at least, to grab those guys and stop them and all that. So yes, if guys, if you see someone like this, in this situation, just try and help. It's not good to shoot a video, or just like watch it, it's happening. No, if you don't take any actions, then yes, it will happen to someday. It will happen to you, and nobody, will take any action. So
Yeah.
don't just watch the show. Just at least help someone.
Yeah.
And then there was a bad experience. And then yes, I don't know what's wrong with that people. Like this started hitting. I said, what's wrong? And it could be a small thing like get off the tram thing. And it was a parking issue, some sort of parking issue. And it's this incident is that was a major incident. Like I can't forget about it as well till date. And that happened to you. So yes, of course, it's hard memory. Like that you never wanted to remember these things, but yes, it's still stick in your mind.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.